sistemi, savunma sanayi için özel çözümler, CMCE teknolojisi uygulama alanları başlıklı konuşmalarını gerçekleştirecekler. Steve Hursley, Hector Ayala ve Joe Stiglitz Sertec'ten welcome. Alkışlarınızla efendim.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Very nice to see you all. Thank you for the introduction. I'm going to introduce my colleagues in a couple of minutes. But first of all, my name is Steve Horsley. I'm the Sales Director of Sertec. I'm very fortunate. This is my third time at this seminar. We congratulate Yılkomer, who is our #1 distributor, for putting on this wonderful event every year. And it's great to see everybody here. What you see, and it's doing me a favor today, but it's not here, is that you have lightning here in Turkey. Down the south and to the southwest, you can see there are a number of lightning strikes that are going on at the moment. Sorry, let me move that one out of the way. And when you zoom into this, what we see is that these strikes are random. They are unknown where they will be, we know that, and there are many of them. Sometimes we see thousands of lightning strikes. So this is live data off of a wonderful website called ortadan, and you can see off the coastline there, there's quite a storm brewing. And as we go in further and further to this, we can see the spread of these strikes. And some of these are, you know, singular strikes that are remote away from the main storm, and it seems very spread, this storm. Sometimes we see it where lightning is very much together. So take a look at this website if you don't already know it. It's called ortadan.org. It's a German website. It's free. You can just go on the internet and find it, and you can actually look all over the world to see what lightning is going on as we speak. So let's zoom out just a little bit. A little bit more. So you can see right across the bottom part of Turkey here, you have some storms. So let me go to the presentation. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to introduce myself again, Steve Horsley. I'm a member of the National Standards Authority in Ireland. I'm English, but I live in Ireland, and I represent the country of Ireland. On the standards committees, I'm sure everybody knows you represent a country. You don't represent a product, you do not represent yourself or a company, you represent a country. So I'm very lucky I represent Ireland. I sit on the IEC 62305 working group TC81 committee. I joined towards the end of last year, so I'm new to it, but I sit on all of the sections that are relevant to lightning. I'm a member of the Institute of Engineering and Electronics Engineers, the Institute of IET, CGRE, and so on. My colleague here in the dark suit is Mr. Hector Ayala. He's a very, very experienced business development director. He is based in Paraguay, South America, which is where the headquarters of Sertec is. And Mr. Jose Jimenez, he is a master engineer and a project and technical consultant, and is very much looking after our technical team back at the headquarters. We have been in business since 2001, founded by a very experienced electrical engineer, Mr. Armando Schiaparelli, and his partner Nancy Loro. And so we have been around a long time, since 2001. So some of you may have seen the presentation over the last couple of years here. What has happened to us is our business has expanded significantly. Our technology has grown. The companies that we protect is significantly grown globally. And you see the word CMCE. South America predominantly is Spanish-speaking countries, and especially Paraguay, and Compensada Multiple de Campo Eléctrico is the Spanish for a multiple compensator of the electrical field. So that is where we get the word CMCE. It's purely the name of the technology. So as I said, we are around since 2001. Before we talk about how to protect against lightning, we need to understand lightning, and I know everybody in the room knows it. You see it so much here. I'm sure everybody understands how charge separation occurs, step leaders, upward streamers, plasma channels, triboelectric charging, you name it. I'm sure you know all of these things, but I'm just going to give a very, very brief recap on this. So I want you to walk into the cloud with me, okay? So come into the cloud. This is a cumulonimbus cloud, and I'm just going to give you the basics of charge separation, which is the word ionization as it works in lightning. So we're in the cloud, and what we now see is we're taking it down to just one atom. And of course it's molecules, atoms of all sorts. These are oxygen atoms, and what we see is they have the same amount of electrons around the outside. And what happens is you'll see all of a sudden that one of the electrons leaves the right-hand atom and goes across to the left. Now what has happened, that is called a triboelectric charge, and on the left, it is now, that atom has become negative. The one on the right is positive. And why does that happen? It happens because the ice crystals, the water vapor, the immense amount of activity within a cumulonimbus cloud, which is the thunder cloud, which is in the troposphere. This is in the lowest level of Earth's atmosphere, just before the stratosphere. So what we have now is we know that charge separation has occurred because electrons have left an atom or a molecule and they've gone to the other one. Let me just go back just quickly there again. I just want to say a couple of words. Let me just run it quickly. It's very good to see it again anyway. So what we now see is that, just to recap, that how this separation is happening in the cloud and on the ground is when ionization occurs. The technology we're talking about today, which is since 2001, and it has a tremendous rich history, which I'll talk about in a little while, actually goes way back to 1916, this technology, way, way back. So negatively charged ion, positively charged ion, the negative has more electrons, and the positive charged ion has less. And so that is how we get the charge separation. So now what happens is when we get to the cloud, you'll start to see now in this video that we're seeing these streamers. These are ionized channels of electrical charge. All they're trying to do is find the opposite charge to neutralize themselves. So that's what lightning is. We all know it's just two builds up of opposite charge that want to come back together and deionize. So what we're talking about is charge formation, which we saw with the atoms, triboelectric charging, if you've heard that word. Charge accumulates, it builds up so significantly on the ground, on the sea, in the atmosphere, between clouds, within a cloud, and everywhere we can see. And I just let this video keep running because it just gives you the idea of what's happening. Let me just go back a bit and I can do it quickly like that. Sorry about this, I'd like you to see this. Okay. So it's running again, and I'll just flick downwards. So we have charge formation, we have charge accumulation, we have step leaders. These are these ionized charges that are looking for something opposite. What we're seeing now is the step leader coming down. And what you see on the ground is all the positive signs. So we all know why there is no negative signs. Because if you hold two magnets together of the same polarity, you cannot push them together. If you have magnets of opposite polarity, immediately they come together. So what we've seen is we've seen the positive charge here in an upward streamer being pulled from the ground or the sea upwards, and it's meeting the step leader that comes down. So we all know, very briefly, this is what lightning is. And so let us talk about the technology, which you can see on our booth back there, which myself, Jose, and Hector will be, you can come and talk to us so you can see the product. So CMCE technology is a deionization technology. So what does that mean? It means in a protected area, the atmosphere is balanced, there is no build-up of opposite charge, and therefore an upward streamer cannot be made. You cannot have it. If there's no attraction for the cloud, and there is no build-up of charge in the protected area, no lightning strike occurs. And as you will see, we've been doing this now for 21 years. And we're very proud to show you later on installations that we have here in Turkey. So the greatest mind, one of the greatest minds, many great minds in electrical situations and law, is Nikola Tesla. Back in 1916, probably he was sitting in his laboratory having a cup of coffee, and he was fascinated by lightning, as we all know. He wanted to capture lightning, store it in some sort of battery technology back in 1916, and then allow that storage of power to be used for civilization. But of course, lightning strikes don't always come to the same place all at the same time. And what he ended up inventing, which you can see on the right-hand side here, is his original patent drawing from 1916, granted in 1918, that shows something different. This is not a spike. This is not a point. This is a cylindrical technology, which, as it's advanced with us in Sertec, uses capacitors, and we'll talk about that a bit more. So his patent was granted in 1916, 1918, and as you can see here, let me just go back again, sorry, I'm going ahead of myself here. Okay. As you can see now, what is happening with the device is it's actually referencing the ground. The device knows whether it's negative or positive grounding. You don't have to flick a switch. You don't have to do anything. The big red words say it's a passive technology. So this passive technology is actually working without any power. You put this device at the highest point above a structure. We have areas of protection, and you require no power. You earth it correctly, and we look for earthing resistance way below 5 ohms. And we teach all of the earthing parameters for this. And the minute that you earth the device, it starts working. So the capacitive technology within the CMCE starts to function immediately. So here we see the operating principle again. It's on electromagnetic induction using capacitors, and that is what our technology is there. We very proudly own the patent worldwide and the design right and technology of this technology, because Tesla's patent ran out in the 1930s, and it was lost until Mr. Shifredi found it. So we see these areas within the device here where the free electrons are being gathered to the top of the device, it's referenced to the ground, and internally the compensating technology inside of the device is bringing all of these charges to ground. So it's creating an internal electric field, and it's using Ohm's law, and you can work out the voltage, the currents, and resistance. Obviously, that's why we need a very, very low earth resistance. So, so that's great. I have a pretty big background in electrical and mechanical engineering. And when I joined the company 3.5 years ago, I said, how do you know it's working? Great, you have this technology, it looks like that, it has no power, there's no anything. It's just working through nature, which Tesla understood that if you use nature, you can actually balance the atmosphere and stop a lightning strike. So what we do is we go around the world, and we've been doing this for many years, and we have the product tested fully in some of the biggest laboratories in the world. So what they do in these laboratories is they put artificial clouds, they have an impulse generator, and they put below it, first of all, a Franklin rod or an early streamer emitter or some other technology for lightning protection. And they run tests, and when it gets to the air resistance breakdown, a discharge from the artificial cloud strikes to whatever that device might be. Let's just say a Franklin rod at the moment, because I have two wonderful big ones in front of me here. So what we show on exactly the same parameters with the Franklin rod, exactly the same distance to the cloud, we take that measurement and we put our CMCE in. So all of a sudden, there is dead silence in the laboratory. And it's quite an incredible thing, because I witnessed all the tests last year in Saudi Arabia, is that we have now deionized the atmosphere. So where the CMCE is, when we get to the exact air resistance breakdown that we had for the other technologies, nothing happens. There is no discharge. And we have all the laboratory tests for that to show you. So as you can see here, we just got the pointer. We have the ITE, this is in Valencia, Spain. It is a lightning testing laboratory, and we pass every test there. And in fact, we test it to IEC 62305 principles and standards, and we get certified there. The GCC lab in Saudi Arabia, they're going through immense change, colossal change. And they have a laboratory that was founded a few years back now, maybe 3 or 4 years back, called the GCC Extra High Voltage Laboratory. Myself, Jose and Hector went there last year, and we run all the tests, and we get fully certified for the Gulf region that our protection technology does not allow discharge to occur. And then, of course, we work with the Nikola Tesla Institute out of complete respect for Nikola Tesla. Our president went there just over, I think it's nearly 2 years ago, and we asked them, could we use your high voltage laboratory to test the technology that Tesla had that we have advanced completely for the modern world. And they allowed us to do that. Their whole engineering team allowed us to go in. And again, we went through all the tests and we passed every test. So we have Tesla certification. We have, of course, our own laboratory. I should say that everything is designed, everything is manufactured in our wonderful facility in Paraguay. Okay, so everything is done there. And also we have to test because the world is different everywhere, different climates. So we go to LabSol and we have all of the climatic conditions tested and we test the materials. One thing to note is this technology which you see back there is green. That means you can recycle those products without any hazardous materials. There is nothing dangerous, and so we are ROSH compliant, and that is extremely important as well. So lightning, you may have noticed, because we do it every day, every minute of every day, we are seeing lightning growing and growing and growing. We're seeing the intensity of the storms being significant. This may just be a period in the world's history, but we do see storms right through this middle belt and even going higher now into the higher part of the world and lower part. We're seeing lightning. So we get a lot of information from NASA. Our brilliant engineering team, you know, can look at Turkey, we can look at what is happening here, we can look at historical data, and we can compare that with you know, today's situation. So we can see trends and so on. When we put out technology, this is Applied Engineering Services. This is in South America. So AES is a company, and it's a success case that we have. On the left-hand side, we see the Quranic value of that red, in that red circle that's there. We see a real build-up of charge developing in the cloud. When we put out technology, it only disappears, it goes. There is no build-up of charge. So we have before, and we have after data, and we have historical data, and we have a lot of information. So one fantastic thing that we did, Mr. Jose Jimenez here is the designer of this product, is we said, wouldn't it be nice if you could look on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer, in your control room, that your lightning protection is working, that you can see 24/7 that lightning protection is working. So Jose, with his design team, came out with Storm 7, that is the name of an accessory. You don't necessarily need this because the CMCE will protect everything without this accessory. But if you want insurance benefits, if you want maintenance records, if you want to know your lightning is working, and I'm going to show you a live demo in a couple of moments, you use this technology. So Storm 7 actually is real-time data. It does require power, okay? We can run it off a renewable battery, or we can run it off mains power or whatever. It has multiple communication methods, so you can send the data. And it also gives you what I'll show you in a moment. We just put it there. The red line here, which you can just about see from the back, I think, is electrical current drainage real time. So I know my CMCE is working. We measure temperature, atmospheric pressure, humidity, height above sea level, and we measure all sorts of different things. On the right-hand side, we have a simple clamp meter that measures in milliamps. So the box is incredible intelligence, and it gives you all the reporting that you need. On the right-hand side, if you do not use Storm 7, you can check the device is working by putting the clamp meter down, round the down-earth conductor, and you can see that there's a reading here in milliamps that is happening. So Storm 7, we are the world's first company to actually show you are protected. We do not count how many times you get struck by lightning, which other technologies have solutions to do that. So we tell you that your device is working. We have all the parameters, we have history and data, and we also have, which you'll see in a moment, we can record lightning strikes within a 35-kilometer radius of the CMCE. So that is a massive benefit, and you're now seeing that on this slide. So user interface is very good on your laptop, which we have here in a moment. Current drainage, the drainage is in milliamps, so we're not talking about dangerous problems and issues of current here. In fact, the electrical drainage is incredible, it's just milliamps. Why? Because there's no discharge. If it was a discharge, it could be 30,000 amps, but it's not there at all. With humidity, atmospheric pressure, height above sea level, and let me just point here. Okay, now what we see just there, and it's very difficult for you to see, but 1 kilometer, 6 kilometers away, there were discharges, and we recorded them, that the protected area was protected, but outside of that protected area, there were discharges that occurred. And so this is a truly significant thing, especially for insurance companies. They can now see that you have intelligent data, that you can see real-time everything that's going on, and you can see that last point I made, that you were in a storm and you were not struck. So I'm going to pass now to my colleague. We're going to do a team act here today. So Mr. Hector Ayala will now take over from here for a little bit, and I'll come back in to go through some case studies with you. Thank you, my friend.
Could you hear me? Okay, thank you. As my partner Steve mentioned, my name is Hector Ayala. I will talk to you about the product range we have. We have three main range. It's called the CMCE 25, CMCE 55, and the CMCE 120. Okay? These products have multiple applications. It could be installed anything and everything. So you could protect anything from a small area, like for example a control to a nuclear plant. So you could protect anything. But according to the size of your radius of protection, you will see, for example, that you have the CMCE 25, specially designed for traffic lights, small radars, road cameras, control booth, and structures on that protected areas. We are talking about 25 meters. So it's not a big area, but if you have something that is customized for that specific area, you have that product. Then you have the CMCE 55, specially designed for residents, buildings, medium-sized telecommunications towers, that's very important, warehouses and structures on this protection area. Then we go to the CMCE 120. The CMCE 120 is the most sell product that we have in our range. It could protect mainly industrial applications, okay? Buildings, mines, electrical substations, sport fields, airport, telecommunications, you name it. Probably you know for experience that anything could be affected by a lightning strike, okay? So that's the reason this product is so important, because you could protect anything with that, even areas of high risk or hazardous areas, like for example mining or explosive atmospheres. I'm going to talk a little bit of that a little bit later on this presentation. But what I want you to emphasize is that we have a team that are continuously working close to our client in order to design products that are customized sometimes for specific uses, okay? This is an example. On this image you could see the different areas of protection of the three range that I mentioned before, CMCE 25, CMCE 55, and the CMCE 120. Just to give you an idea, on the yellow circle, we have been designed a protection area for this hotel, okay? So let's imagine that we install the CMCE device at the top of this beautiful hotel, and you could see that even the neighbors will be protected, okay? Just to give you an idea about the range of the protection area we have. On the left hand, and on the red circle, you have the area of protection of the CMCE 55, and on the small circle in green, you will see the protection areas for the CMCE 25. As I mentioned before, we have designed some specific products for a specific customized requirements of our clients. On the first three images, you will see CMCE 25, CMCE 55, and CMCE 120. I already told you about this before, so I wouldn't mention anymore about this. Then, next to him, you will see CMCE UL. The CMCE UL model is specially designed for the American market. At the moment, the US is the most strongest market around the world, and we have been certified by UL 96 standard, okay? So we are installing this particular device in very high-risk areas in the US. We have protect anything and everything in the US, like for example, 911 centers, radars, airports, you name it. All the type of applications that you could name, it's already protected by our technology around the world. Then we have CMCE AT or HT, specially designed for environments of high temperature. Let's imagine, for example, if you want to protect a manufacturer that have a tall chimney, okay? This chimney has very high temperatures, more than 200 degrees sometimes. So this device is designed with the components that are stronger enough to resist this type of environment. Then we have the CMCE Grapheno. The CMCE Grapheno is covered with a special material, the grapheno, that has the ability to accelerate the draining, okay? Mainly, this model is provided for military applications. We have protect already military bases, hangars, and other very sensitive facilities for militaries around the world, in Middle East, in the US, and we have some important clients here in your country as well. Then you have the CMCE high vibration, specially designed for mining. Let's imagine that you have a drill rig, for example. This device is designed that could resist the vibration that are normally generated by the drills. Then we have the CMCE high resistance. The CMCE high resistance is designed for manufacturers that work with chemical components that are very aggressive and corrosive. So if you have this type of applications, we could protect your facility with this product. And on the last part of the slide, we have the CMCE TwinMax. The CMCE TwinMax is one of the top products we have, specially designed for high-risk areas that have a very high draining necessity, that have a lot of lightning strikes. We choose these products when we are talking about special projects, okay? We also have some special models designed for wind turbines that are basically the top of the product we have. I'm not going to focus a lot on this, but I want to mention that we have a marine division. A couple of years ago, we have been on research with the team in order to develop a product that could be able to protect anything and everything on the sea. So imagine you are, for example, a small vessel in the middle of the sea. You are a point of attraction for a lightning strike. Okay, so we have a lot of expertise already on land, but if we are talking about to be in the middle of the sea, that's something different. So we go through a process of research with the team, and we develop products especially for this type of applications, okay? So the design of the products are different. These products are also lighter than the standard land models because the weight is something very important when we are talking about anything on the sea, from a small buoy to an LNG tanker. So we have three models on the marine division. The first one is the CMCE Gold. The CMCE Gold, it's the smallest one. It's have around 1 kilogram, okay? Very, very light. Could protect everything like a small buoy, like sailboats. And then go to the CMCE Platinum. This is the most sell model on the marine industry. This particular product has 2.7 kilograms around. It's designed to protect, for example, a yacht, like a catamaran, and it's very, very well known on the marine world already. We have provided some of the most important yacht manufacturers around the world. Then we go to the CMCE Diamond. This is the top of the range for the marine industry. This particular product could protect, for example, the big cargo ships. We have protected many cargo ships on the Middle East. We could protect an LNG tanker as well with this product. And the beauty of this product is that we could combine together. For example, if you have a big vessel that have more than 100 meters, you could combine, for example, a diamond with a platinum or a diamond with a gold. And we have all the data and reference from these projects that we could share with you as well. It's very important to mention to you that all these products have been certified by RINA. RINA is one of the most famous and prestigious certifications on the marine industry. And we have been officially certified by RINA last year on November. Now we're talking a little bit about certifications, okay? Our company is ISO 9001 and 40001 certified. That means that we have a very strong commitment to the quality, to the continuous improvement, and to the environment, okay? My partner Steve already mentioned to you that our products have been tested according to international standard. For example, we accomplished the IEC standard. We have been test our products in the Nikola Tesla Institute in Belgrade a couple of years ago. Our product is also listed on the official NATO catalog, okay? That means that we are allowed to provide this product for the military industry of any contractor or any army that are related to NATO. Our company is also certified by DUNS. DUNS is an international independent organism that certifies the economy and the ethics on business for a company in the world. So this company provides a report of the performance and the ethics of the company. Our products have been also CE and UK CE labeled. We are in accordance to the community of independent states, and we accomplished with the ROCH standards. That means that our products are harmful to the human health. And as my partner Steve mentioned already, we have tested the devices on ITE, that is the International Institute of Energy in Valencia, Spain. And this institute are members of ENAC and ILAC. Okay? ENAC and ILAC are the accredited bodies for lightning protection devices around the world. So these two organisms are the most well-known and respected organisms around the world to provide certification on the lightning industry. I mentioned before that we have a specific product for the American market that is certified according to UL 96. And I mentioned also that the marine products have been certified with the RINA certification. And it's important also to mention to you that our products accomplish with the NFPA 780 standards. Okay, Steve, I will give it to you. Thanks for your attention.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the success cases around the world. We're a global company, okay, so for the last 22 years, 23 years now, we've been installing this technology. And as I've said, this is my third time here in Istanbul, in Turkey. And Yılkomer already have installations which we'll show you here across the region. So this is a very large power plant. This is the AES one, which we talked about a little bit earlier in one of the earlier slides. Since 2019, we've been protecting this full facility. That means the chimneys, the storage tanks, the substations, the pier that goes out to the ship. This entire facility is protected only by CMCE technology. And they were having a lot of problems with lightning strikes because South America, just like here in Turkey, tremendous amount of lightning. So when we put this technology in 2019, we removed the existing systems that were there. And the technical team went in and put our technology in and made sure all the earthing was correct and so on. And since 2019, with storms all around the facility, they have never had a lightning discharge to that facility. So it's a very, very good case study. And you can see a slightly different model there. What you see here, one has these spheres. The latest model that you see down the back there doesn't have the spheres. This sphere model works perfectly, so nothing to change, but we've just changed the way the technology looks and how it functions. And you can see the solar panels here on the right. You can see the whole facility. So we are protecting AES. We protect a lot of very high things, chimneys and big storage tanks. And you can see this here as well in AES in the Dominican Republic. So this is America. In America, you know, they have huge oil facilities. This is since 2021, so, you know, just getting 3 years now. We protect the entire facility here in Galveston, Texas. So what is the importance about this, of course, is you cannot have sparks. You cannot have anything that could cause a potential flame. And some technologies, when they arrest the technology, you bring the lightning strike, you bring the potential for sparks, you bring all of that to you. So with a hazardous area, you want deionization. You want a technology that does not allow discharge. So the atmosphere is deionized, there is no discharge, there is no spark, there is no way that these facilities can explode. And strangely enough, last year, Southern Trent Water have a big facility in the UK, and they had some of the older traditional technologies, and they had a lightning strike that failed. The technology failed and the entire site was wiped out last year. On YouTube there's a really big video all about that, and colleagues of mine are speaking there in a few weeks' time about our technology. So Galveston, this is a port, another port site for AES in the Dominican Republic since 2020. That big facility that you see there is protected. Look at the size of this plant. So it's very complex if you use traditional type of technology to protect this entire facility, because you need lots of them. If you were using traditional technology, you need many, many, many. So we use a few devices to protect this entire facility by putting the device at the highest point. Here in Turkey, we have installations, many of them, and Yılkomer can share many of these stories. So Assos, here we protect this building. We've been doing that since last year, and that's a brand new installation. Your wonderful, wonderful site here, historical site, we now protect since last year. This tractor facility we're protected also since 2022. So we now have, when I came here 3 years ago, we really didn't have the establishment of installations. We now have them. and they're growing very fast here. So these big factories around the world are protected by us completely, globally, huge sites. Now remember that the technology protects 120 meters radius, the biggest device. So we put this map, like you saw very basically earlier, of the circles across the facility to protect the entire facility. Sardar talked earlier about, the step issue for if you walk, if a lightning strike hits and it's the step potential in the ground. We protect many livestock farms around the world, especially in Argentina. The farmers were losing an entire herd when a strike was hitting to the ground. And so since 2018, these livestock are definitely protected from a lightning strike. And we've never had a lightning strike. So we show one device there, but there are more scattered around the field to cover the whole area. So what that means is that these cattle are walking around while there's a storm, and yet they're protected. And that takes quite a lot to take in, okay, to understand that. But the technology is so proven now, so tested and so authorized that, these type of companies put this technology in. And so we've never had any lost cattle. We know, like in India, for example, sometimes herds of elephants lose their lives. Up in Norway, reindeer, you can see reindeer that just completely wiped out. So the technology is protecting them, and it's very, very important. We're very proud to say that we protect offshore oil platforms now. As Hector mentioned, in the marine side of the business, what you want is no strike coming to you, and especially these oil rigs. These are very dangerous places, and so we protect ADS. We're just about to protect another 19 offshore oil platforms. We have a project coming up throughout 2024. So if you want confidence in the technology, speak to an airport. An airport cannot allow its radar or control tower or its terminals to be struck by lightning. So we currently today protect 9 airports around the world. We have all our fingers crossed. We're just about to announce a monster airport in the world, and we're going to protect the entire airport. And why is that? Because they want to still be able to function when storms are around. So we've proven that that works, and we've proven that we can protect, the terminals and the runways out to the plane. The radar, we protect radar. So why do we protect radar? Because our technology has no interference with any signal. It's a passive technology, so you can put one of these, and we do, and we have many pictures of it, above a radar, and the radar is not affected, or the control tower. Solar plants are everywhere in the world now. You do not want all of the damaging effects of lightning coming to solar plants. So this one here is particularly last year, a very huge facility. It was having a lot of problems with lightning. We went in and installed our technology, and they are now protected fully. Buildings and skyscrapers, these are, you probably recognize them, are here. So some of these buildings and skyscrapers we're now protecting, and this is very good. If you're out playing golf and you're in Vietnam and you're on this golf course, you're safe. Okay, so this gives you that ability to make yourself even more safer, because the protection is covering the entire golf course. And we find across the world, in the areas where lightning is dominant, that lightning comes in so quickly, and unfortunately we know that people on golf courses have lost their lives, so we protect them. This as well. This big Super 18-hole mega golf course. The US Tennis Association, this is their main facility in America. You can see it looks like, these are all tennis courts, by the way. We protect the entire facility for the US Tennis Association, and that's been now going 2 years. Football stadiums, on the left is my partner Jose's favorite team, La Novella Ola, Serio, Portino. Okay, we've been doing that since 2017. What happens when you're watching a football game out there and a storm comes in quickly, and on YouTube you can see many of these videos, is all these people are at risk. You see the players running off, and sometimes you don't see the crowd are just sitting there waiting for them to come back. And they're at immense risk. So, in fact, we only needed 2 devices to protect this stadium on the left-hand side here. And on top of the floodlight tower, you can see our device is there. But luckily, this football club has a lot of money, and they put one on every floodlight. And so they've been protected, and there is a video on YouTube from the owners of the facility that since 2017, when even the worst storm was around, no lightning strike occurred. Now, if there's anywhere in the world that you can get sued quickly, it's America, we all know that. So we have to make sure our technology is perfect, and we protect the Great American Ballpark. We also protect the Red Sox Stadium, and people may have heard of that, the Red Sox, massive stadiums, and we're protecting more and more. So these huge facilities are being protected by our technology. I know you have mining here. Now, the problem with lightning and mines is, if strikes hit the ground above a mine, you don't know what the effect will be. It could cause a collapse of the mine. It could cause any problem. So we use our specialist technology for mines, and you can see actually on this picture here, we're right above a communications tower protecting this site. So we protect many mines, many case studies, much history and data for you. Tourist facilities around the world, more and more tourist facilities are now going with our technology, and you can see many of them in these pictures here. You can see fun ground rides, you can see, there's a fantastic video on YouTube on the news channels. We're on the news a lot. We're on the news a lot. And these lifeguard huts on the beaches protect the lifeguards, because they're the lifeguards. They're staying on the beaches to look after everybody, and when a storm comes over, we have to look after them as well. Hector already mentioned this. This is just a 10-second recap. This is called Pixus. It's the first worldwide sailing yacht, cargo ship. So they get out to sea, they put these massive wind wings up, they sail across the sea, and they save thousands and thousands of tons of fuel. So you'll see a flood of these coming now. And we're very lucky. We were selected by Bar Technologies, and we were selected to put our CMCE on. It's on the very first one, and we protect that entire yacht. We've done super yachts. We did a super yacht here in Turkey. It's called Infinite Jest. If you look at it, you'll see it on the sea. You'll see our device on top. So Infinite Jest. Lucky owners are protected. Here's a big one. The National Geographic Orion. We protect that as well. So we keep giving you these references because we want you to understand that this is a global, accepted technology for the protection against lightning strikes. Mirabella 5 are just about to upgrade and put Storm 7 on. I just got a note last week from the service company of Mirabella 5. This mast is huge. It's 80 meters or something. It's some silly number. And it was being hit by lightning when it was in the Mediterranean, when it was in the Caribbean. They've been hit 3 times by lightning. When we put our technology on in 2019, they've never been hit since, and we have references. Sports fishing boats, you have many of these around Turkey, of course. Catamarans, this is silent yachts. It's a solar-powered yacht, so like a solar farm on land. This is on sea, and we now have been awarded to protect all of their new catamarans. A catamaran is a wide surface area. You're at sea and a storm comes in, it's a very frightening experience. Lots of important companies, Coca-Cola, Ford, Great American Ballpark, CPN, AES, Dinec, Clario, Navship, Sheraton Hotels, Leone, Bonnet Springs, all of these companies now put our technology on. In the shipping world, you'll see next time we come next year, this will be smothered. We just won exquisite yachts in South Africa. They are now putting on all of their boats. So when we talk about our technology, we are a global company. I'm English, but I live in Ireland. I won't go into the long story of that, but it's beautiful there. And our headquarters is in Paraguay. and we cover with distributors and this fantastic distributor we have here, Yılkomer, looking after Turkey for us. And so we are here at the back there, you'll see 4 CMCE 120. Please come and talk to us, because usually there are hundreds of questions. And if you need further information, the brilliant technical team at Yılkomer can provide you installation guides, documentation, case studies, videos, lab test reports. Everything is there. So I think that what we see, our business grew nearly 300% last year, growth, which is colossal. We expect this year, with the acceptance globally, that we will probably exceed that this year. From the last thing to say is that Saudi Aramco just placed their first order with us in the Middle East. We're protecting one of their facilities in a location in mountains, we're not allowed to say where, and so on and so on. So on behalf of, I mean, Jose hasn't said anything yet, but he could do. He speaks Spanish only, but understands English. He's here to answer. He's an absolute technical expert, along with us all. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for listening to us. Thank you.
Şimdi eserin sunumu var. Eserin sunumunu heyecanla bekliyoruz. O kaçak akım arasında Türkiye'nin yetiştirdiği önemli değerlerden. Ama öncesinde aramızda önemli akademisyenler de var. Kocaeli Üniversitesi'nden Necmi hocamız burada. Bize çok kısa bir konuşma yapacak. Kendisini sahneye davet ediyorum. Buyurun hocam.
Merhaba değerli arkadaşlar. İyi gidiyor mu? Ben teoriden falan bahsetmeyeceğim. Sadece bazı anekdotlardan çok kısa bahsedeceğim izninizle. Şimdi mutlaka %50 üzerinde herkesin yabancı dili vardır. İnanıyorum öyledir. Fakat tabii %100'ümüz hakim değiliz belki de İngilizceye. Onun için özellikle lisans düzeyindeki meslektaş adaylarına lisans bittiği anda en az bir yabancı dilinizin olması gerektiğiyle ilgili çok zorlamalar oluyor. Ve bir farklı, onun üzerinde de burada öğrencim var. Yani senin Türkiye müdürü de bir öğrencimiz. Çok farklı bir yol haritası üzerinden gitmeye çalışıyoruz. Elektrik destek güvenliği, daha doğrusu tesis ana bilim dalındaki dersleri veriyorum ben. Bu güvenlikle ilgili dersleri Kocaeli Üniversitesi'nde ben veriyorum naçizane. Sektörde, özel sektörde, daha doğrusu dış sahayla üniversitelerin iç içe olmasına inananlardan biriyim. Dolayısıyla gün itibariyle de baktığınızda lütfen bunları yanlış bir algı olarak algılamayın. İşte 1000'in üzerinde endüstriyel tesis, 22 ülke, 57 OSB ve akıllı şehir ve yangın konusuna da fazlaca odaklandığım için o konuda da 30 büyükşehir, 81 il, 402 belediye yerinde inceledim. Dolayısıyla farklı iki taraflı bir gereksinim var. Bazen sahadakiler bize bir şey öğretiyor, bazen biz onlarla bazı şeyleri tartışıp bir yerlere getirmeye çalışıyoruz. Fakat yararlı oluyor. Bu dönemde verdiğim derslerden biri arkadaşlar enerji yönetimi. Büyük bir uluslararası firmayla enerji yönetiminin ders içeriğini birlikte güncelledik ve her hafta o konu başlıklarıyla ilgili uzmanlar geliyor. Önümüzdeki dönemde de lisans ve yüksek lisans düzeyinde Yılkomer'le böyle bir birlikteliğimiz ve yol haritamız olacak. Gerek elektrik mühendisleri odası, gerekse elektrik EM'de, eski adı ETM'de olan yapılarla, STK'larla, meslek örgütlerle de iç içe. Bu iki tane yapı birbirinin alternatifi değil. Aksine bütün etkinliklerle birlikte hareket etme gibi çok olgunluk ve düzeyli bir dayanışma içerisindeler. Bir elektrikli şarj istasyonlarıyla ilgili de Türkiye'de 3 tane STK var. Sayılarda gitgide artıyor lisans alanları. Her bir söylediğim şeyle ilgili aslında çeşitli çalışma alanları ve mesleki bağlamda da mesleğimizin getirmiş olduğu hareketlilikle yapılabilecek çok şeyler var. Az önce Serdar Bey'in konuştuğu bir konuyu vardı. O da şu, ben aslında bugün Frankfurt olacaktım. Çok önemli bir aydınlatma fuarı var orada. Fakat ilk sahaya çıktığı dönemde ben her zaman onu yaparım. Mutlaka derslerime bir tane misafir, konunun uzmanı getiririm. Bir ışık gördüm bundan yaklaşık işte 10 yıl önce. Davet ettim, genç arkadaş geldi, bu konuları anlattı meslektaş adaylarıyla. Hocam bu bizim 10. yılımız. Bu bizde olmanızdan mutluluk duyarız deyince ben de Frankfurt'u iptal edip Serdar kardeşimin yanında olmak istedim. Doğru yolda, doğru gidiyor. İlk günkü heyecanı halen taşıyor ve önemli olan ekibini gitgide geliştiriyor ve ekibi de heyecanla bu işi götürmeye çalışıyorlar. Bence sizlerin de önerileriyle ya da yapabileceği şeylerle daha güzel bir insan ve can ve mal güvenliğine dayalı bir Türkiye ve bir dünya kurulabilir. Bu ancak bizim gibi mesleki bağlamda duyarlı arkadaşlarla, meslektaşlarla olabilir. Son bir şey söyleyeceğim. Az önce bir şey söyledi. Dil ovası ile ilgili Yıldırım sayısından bahsetti. Aslında dil ovasıyla ilgili ve Karamürsel ile ilgili ben akıllı şehirler bağlamında bir proje yaptım. 15 yıllık planlamalarıyla ilgili. Ve orada gördüm ki arkadaşlar aslında dil ovası Kocaeli'nin en kirli yeri değil. Ve yeşil alanı en fazla olan ilçesi. Gün itibariyle hava kirliliği bağlamında Türkiye'nin en kirli yeri benim doğduğum yer İskenderun. Dolayısıyla çok daha fazla Yıldırım'ın o bölgelerde olduğunu biliyoruz. Mutlaka önemsenmesi gereken bir şey iklim değişikliği. Buna yönelik de farklı projelerle ilgili birlikte olmak isterseniz Serdar Bey'le benimle iletişime girip ortak projelerde türetmekten yana olurum. Hepinizin izniyle benim ve hepinizin adına Yılkomer'in 10. yılını kutluyor ve alkışlıyorum.